or like a master holding a torch for his servant. In this way, God showed the nations of the world how dear the children were to him, and he wanted the nations to treat his children with respect. And so, of course, you have the pillar of fire by day, or by night, and the pillar of smoke by day in the wilderness. And then you have that Ark of the Covenant, where the light, the Lord, would dwell between the wings of the cherubim. Very interesting there. And then he ascends to Sinai, and so on and so forth. I had another, hang on, another distraction. Okay. On page 130, Schwartz notes that Adam possessed a body of light. Now that's interesting. Adam possessed a body of light, which shone from one end of the world to the other. This light was identical with the primordial light that was created on the first day. So bright was the light of Adam's body that the angels mistook him for God. Now this is fascinating because God, in order to show the angels that, yes, this was just a human, he put a sleep on Adam, the tardema, asleep. And then the angels knew that he was but a man. So apparently God doesn't sleep. Now the reason that Adam's face shone so brightly when he was created is specifically identified as because he was made in the image and likeness of God in every way. Very interesting. And he says this myth about Adam's body of light is a variation of the theme of the clouds of glory. So light and glory are associated also. Here, instead of the clouds, Adam is said to be surrounded by the primordial light. And the extensive tradition about Adam's light body seems intended to create a bridge between the myth of the heavenly Adam, who has a demiurgic role, and the earthly Adam created out of the dust by God. The myths link both Adams into a single being. And he loses his divine nature when he eats the forbidden fruit. And then he says, go to the page 15 for Adam Kadmon. And I want to share some of this with you also. Now, the theme of Adam Kadmon is fascinating in Jewish lore, the Kabbalah, the Zohar, the Sefer Yetzirah, the Bahir. Fascinating information. He is the supernal man. He was the beginning of all beginnings, the most ancient of all primordial beings, Adam Kadmon. Joseph Smith identified the Ancient of Days as Adam, the Ancient of Days in Daniel. Is it not exquisitely interesting, for those of you who have ears to hear, that Adam Kadmon, the supernal man, is the most ancient of all the primordial beings? Very interesting, isn't it? Joe Smith, he might have been trying to tell us something, huh? Adam Kadmon preceded all other creations. Ancient of Days indeed. This is on page 15, by the way, of Schwartz's book. He says, he preceded all other creations, and from Adam Kadmon all the other worlds spread forth. Adam Kadmon, the primordial man, a completely spiritual being. When it is said that man was created in the image of God, this refers to the form of Adam Kadmon. He contains thousands of myriads of worlds. Notice the cosmology here associated with Adam. Kadmon. Very interesting. The first four of these to come forth from Adam Kadmon are the four worlds: the world of emanation, Atzilut; creation, Beriah, from which we get our Bereshit in the Hebrew Genesis 1, Beriah; the formation, the Yetzirah, that's the Sefer Yetzirah, the book of formation in the Kabbalistic tradition; and the fourth world is action, Asaya. The term Adam Kadmon means primordial man, and Adam Kadmon is understood to be the spiritual prototype of man, a kind of cosmic soul. The figure of Adam Kadmon can also be recognized as an anthropomorphic manifestation of God, a male deity assuming the shape and the natures and features of a human being. A heavenly man who was created at the same time or prior to the earthly Adam. That's in that's in Philo. Swallowed my popcorn wrong. Adam Kadmon is said thus to contain every image of man that would ever exist. Thus he is an archetype or a prototype of man. It's all based on light. Isn't that fun? Interesting. So this theme of light, the cosmic light, light, our very makeup. In fact, let me take a moment. This is in Truman Madsen. He talks about it a little bit in his book, Eternal Man, but this is an article called Man Illumined. Now, this was mailed to me, and for whatever reason, they didn't give me the actual source that he published this in, which really ticks me off. But oh well, it's called Man Illumined. If any of you have this source, go ahead and post it up on the comments. He says, the sum of this essay can be put in one word: light. We see with and through light. No theme is more central to modern revelation than light. And that's on page 121. And then he goes through the various scriptures concerning light and the Doctrine and Covenants. There's a lot of them. It's very, very interesting list of sources here. This is the beginning. One sense is the beginnings of a whole cosmology. And he says, these revelations in the Doctrine and Covenants concerning light and mankind and the cosmos and so on and so forth are relationships. He says, these suggest that man is more than a receptacle of degrees of light. He is somehow in his very primal makeup composed of light. Now this jives really well with the Jewish idea of Adam Kadmon, doesn't it? Adam originally was a light being, absolutely. One association of the prophet Joseph Smith understood him to say that light, or spirit, and matter are the two great primary principles in the universe, or of being. They are self-existent, coexistent, indestructible, and eternal, and from these two elements, both our spirits and our bodies were formulated. Ooh. Boy, I mean, that doctrine tastes good, doesn't it? Truly. Light magnified, light and heat fill the immensity of space. Light is truth, and this truth, this spirit of truth, which is light, also shines. Truth shines. Intelligence is the light of truth, so on and so forth. The sum of all existence. Truth is knowledge. A fantastic little article. I highly recommend you get that too. So anyway, that's some of these themes of light that I wanted to share with you and enlighten you. Phosphorus. No, I don't think that's the right Greek word. Phosphorus is something else. I can't remember the other Greek word right now, but anyway, I'll get it to you in another video. So, may the light shine in your lives. That's a good way to wrap up the video, isn't it? All right, thanks.